Carolyn Dube here. What's the play for today? Well, today it's a stencil, tissue paper, and a crayon. And we're going to make something very colorful. And on top of that, you're going to find out a very practical reason to use your art supplies. To make a crayon rubbing, you simply take a piece of tissue paper or other really thin paper and put it on top of a stencil. And then using a crayon, you just rub it across the top. Now the crayon, by the way, is not a fancy art crayon. It's not some kind of exclusive supply. This is a kid's Crayola crayon. I've taken the wrapper off of it and I'm just using it on its side so I get a nice large area each time I'm pushing down with this. The biggest trick to doing this is getting the pressure right on the crayon. You want to have enough pressure that you get a good impression, but not so much pressure that it gets completely covered in black crayon. Once you've got your impression, then it's time to color it in. I'm taking some irregular colored pencils here and just filling in all the different areas and pattern. I specifically chose this stencil to do this because there are all sorts of almost abstract looking spaces around the letters. So when I'm all done, this is going to have a very different look than if I just stenciled this with paint. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this stencil is called Words to Live By, and it's one of the ones I've designed for over at StencilGirlProducts.com. And yep, I've got a link down below for you too. And you might be wondering, what on earth can you do with a piece of paper, this colored piece of tissue paper? Well, hang in there because a little bit later in the video, I'm going to share with you what I made with it. When you're doing crayon rubbings, it helps if you're working on a firm surface because that gives you the best impression with this. And the other thing is you might notice that sometimes the tissue paper or the crayon slips a little bit, and guess what? A little bit doesn't even show. Because I don't know if you even noticed that happened when I was doing this rubbing. There's just a little bit of a smearing kind of look to this in a couple of places, but once I've got it colored in, none of that's going to show whatsoever. And I guess smearing isn't really the right word, because smearing would be something that would be kind of wet or like with paint. And the wax crayon didn't really smear, but it was where I ended up using just a little more pressure. I picked up some part of the background as opposed to just the stencil pattern. And truly, a little bit of that disappears completely and totally when you color it in. There are two big reasons why I like doing something like this. The first one is because it's just fun. It's fun to see those colors come together and see what it looks like once that's all on there. The other reason is it helps me stay focused when I need to concentrate on something like a Zoom conference. When I have to watch a screen and stay focused, having my hands busy really does help me retain more of the information and stay completely engaged in what's going on the screen. This totally saved me when I had a 3.5-hour conference call type meeting on a Zoom. And if my hands had not been busy, I would have completely glazed over and not gotten a bit of information out of that. So there are two reasons why I did this. One was just to have fun using my art supplies, and two, it was to help myself focus on those very long Zoom meetings. As a bonus, I've got this wonderful fun piece of paper. My first plan was to use this in an art journal. And I didn't know if I wanted to use the whole thing or part of it, and I kept thinking about it. And then I realized, no, I want to use pieces of this in a collage. And then I thought about that, and I'm like, nope, don't really want to do that either. What I really wanted was just this. So even though I could have used it to make a postcard, an ATC, a card, it could have been great to add a little bit of color on a scrapbook page. Anything where you might want to use paper, you can use any of the papers that you create. Now, of all the possibilities, all the choices that are out there, I decided to go with a simple frame. And by simple frame, what I mean is a really inexpensive frame. This frame, I believe, is a $2 frame. Maybe I broke the bank and went $3 on it, but it is a simple frame from IKEA. Here's what it looks like in the frame. And this has two different looks for me. One is when it's at a distance, it just looks like a colorful pattern, right? But when you get up closer to it, you can actually see the words that are in there. And I purposely chose the Be Bold to go right up there at the top. And of course, when you're doing yours, you can pick whichever part of your stencil design that you want to put in that frame, or use it in your art journal or wherever you choose to use it. Thanks so much for joining me for today's play. If you've been enjoying this video, I'd so appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. That way you'll know as soon as I've got a new one out. And if you'd like to see more fun and play, head on over to the website at acolorfuljourney.com. Thanks so much for letting me be a part of your colorful journey.